Welcome to another chat from the LA Times newsroom. I'm consumer columnist David Lazarus. If you've gone on a Carnival cruise in recent years, you probably had a great time, except maybe for the fires and the non-working toilets and the lack of food and other such things. And nothing puts the kibosh on a vacation like that kind of thing. But Carnival is making amends and making repairs. And to tell us more about that, we're joined by travel writer Hugo Martin. Hi, Hugo.
Hi, David.
So it's a whole new world at Carnival, apparently.
Almost, yeah. I mean, it's still the same cruise line, but they're putting in a lot of money to make it a little better, a little more safe.
Let's backtrack a little bit. What were the problems?
Well, Carnival's had a couple of incidents that were pretty embarrassing. Back in 2010, we had the Splendor ship. If you remember that, that was off the coast of Mexico. And they had a fire in the engine room, and they lost all power, and that ship was just adrift. They thought they fixed it, and up comes the Triumph in February. Same thing, a fire in the engine room, no power, the ship's adrift. On top of that, the Carnival Corporation owns the Costa, which is the parent company, the Costa Concordia. And we remember what happened to that ship.
Sinking off of Sardinia, if I remember.
Yeah, so they've had quite a series of bad luck, this whole cruise line.
Now, is it just bad luck? Has Carnival found any problems that run deeper than that, or is it just kismet?
Well, with the Carnival Cruise Line, they found that there was one weakness, and they think they fixed it. Now, in the Splendor fire back in 2010, the fire in the engine room burned up these power cables that basically carry power to the ship that provide air conditioning and elevators and all that. So the engine fire killed the power. Now, they thought they had that fixed. And it turns out when the Triumph happened, another fire, all the power goes out. Those same cables got seared and they wouldn't work.
Oh.
So part of this $300 million that they're spending to fix all the ships is to rewire the ships so that those power cables are not going to be running right over the engine rooms.
I don't want to let the passengers get lost amidst all this talk of power cables and things.
Right.
When the power goes out, when there are fires and things, what happens to the passengers?
The ship just drifts, basically. It's got to be towed back into port.
No power, no air con.
But now there is one emergency generator on board that works on diesel. So they could still get some minimum power going. But as we remember from the Triumph incident, it wasn't a whole lot. So there was no air conditioning. A lot of the bathrooms didn't work. A lot of the elevators didn't work. And a lot of the kitchen equipment didn't work. So we heard, reports of people eating cucumber sandwiches and throwing their waste off of, the side, not the side, but, they had some problems.
I hear you. Didn't the cruise ship industry come out with some kind of Bill of Rights the other day to address all of this?
Yeah, there's a passenger Bill of Rights, and most of them signed it. And I'm not sure exactly what enforcement there is. That's the sort of wiggle thing in this, is that, well, what happens if a passenger ship doesn't abide by these Bill of Rights?
Well, specifically, don't you have like a right to have a good voyage? I mean, that's what the Bill of Rights says.
Yeah.
Well, power goes out, I'm sorry.
Right. But your contract with the cruise company that you buy your ticket from, there's a lot of caveats and there's a lot of fine print in that. So I wouldn't say that, all passengers are guaranteed a good time now because of this.
Okay, so as far as Carnival is concerned, problem solved?
Well, they hope so. They hope that this $300 million they're spending is going to resolve that problem. They will hopefully not have another situation where an engine fire kills their power. Now, there may be other problems, sure. I mean, there's no guarantee. But at least for that, they think they took care of that problem. And you should be seeing in the next few months a big advertising campaign by Carnival to try to get people re-energized about going out to sea again.
Would they be upset if I brought my own generator?
No.
That's
Bring
okay.
it along. Bring it along. Why not?
Hugo Martin, thanks for joining us. You can get all the business news you could possibly require at latimes.com/business.